Hey everyone, so sitting here waiting for my wife. She's working, and I figured I would do a video because many people have been asking me about my military experience and the details of it, what it's like to be in the military. And so I figured I'd do talk a couple things about what it was like to go through the military when I did. So I was 20 years old and I joined in March 2007. I signed up because I didn't necessarily agree with what was going on with the war, Afghanistan and Iraq. It's known as, we went there for black and white gold, opium and oil. Many people can tell you that there are many soldiers guarding opium fields in Afghanistan and stuff like that. And of course, we all know Iraq was for oil, but I didn't necessarily agree with it. But I wanted to, one, I wanted to be a medic, and two, I wanted to help people come back. I cared about people, and instead of becoming a paramedic, I decided I would be a 68 Whiskey, which is the MOS of healthcare specialist / combat medic. So I went to basic training at Fort Knox. They call it the School of Hard Knocks, and it was actually a mix-up because my recruiter was supposed to send me to somewhere like Fort Benning, Georgia, or Jackson, but I instead got sent. I was the only medic there for basic training, and I got sent where Cav Scouts in the armor went. And now I don't even believe Fort Knox does basic training anymore. I believe it's OSET, One Station Unit Training, which is they train, they do their basic training and their MOS specialties in one location. So I didn't, there are many basic trainings like Fort Jackson, Fort Benning, Georgia. There's one in, Missouri, I think. There's Fort Leonard Wood. Anyways, so I did the 9 weeks in Fort Knox. And then I went down to Fort Sam Houston. In 2007, it was pretty much just the Army that was doing the medic training. And Fort Sam Houston is in San Antonio, Texas. It's not far from where the Air Force does their training. And from there, it was 16 weeks, 8 weeks for the NREMT, where you became an EMT basic on the national level. And you had 8 weeks to do that. And if you failed the test 2 times, you would be reclassified, which means you would get a different MOS. Many of them would go on to be infantry or truck drivers, like 88 Mikes or something like that. And anyways, so I took the test and I passed the first time. And then the second 8 weeks was combat medic training, where we actually got to learn the specifics of what it was like to be a combat medic. From there, I went to Fort Lewis, which was in Washington. Now, I grew up, funnily enough, in Tacoma, Washington, which is about 10 minutes away from Fort Lewis, which now they call JBLM, Joint Base Lewis McChord. It's right next to the Air Force Base, which is McChord Airfield, and they combined those two. And that happened in like 2009, 2010, but anyways, I was lucky, and I actually got stationed pretty much in my hometown. And I got there around, November of 2007. And I got assigned to a unit which was 62nd Medical Brigade. This was a brigade full of medics and ancillary MOSs. And I came and I found out that my unit was in Baghdad, in Iraq, in a place called Camp Victory. This was the place where Saddam Hussein had, I believe it was where he would send his generals and all that stuff to whoever he was pleased with. And it was, I believe it was a hunting and safari place where they, people said that they would find giraffes and lions and zebras in the desert because of this. Anyways, so I went there, and I went there in May of 2008 till November of 2008, and so my first deployment was only 6 months long. And so we came back, and we were in garrison from, what was it, late 2008, and then deployed again in July of 2010, and we deployed for 12 months from there. Now, when I was there, I was in Baghdad in the Green Zone, and we were military support. So we ran clinics, we did ambulances, and sometimes we got tasked out to do patrols. After that, now the 12 months, it's really interesting because you're on the other side of the world, and sometimes it's boring, but when it's not boring, it's hellish. It really sucks. I can't go into all of the stuff that I did while I was there, not just because it's secret, but I was in the medical field, and I believe in HIPAA and not, talking about a lot of the stuff that goes on there. I don't know exactly what I can and can't say, but needless to say, there was some stuff that there were some tough situations that I had to go through being a medic. Many things that I had to see that I didn't really want to. Anyways, we came back in July of 2011, and shortly thereafter I signed on to do another contract, another 5 years. And so when you sign on, you get to choose, you get to have a sign-on bonus, and my signing bonus was like $5,000 or something like that. And I got to pick my next duty station, and so I picked Germany, Stuttgart. So when I was in the military, I was going through severe depression, and I had PTSD from some things that happened, obviously, during my deployments. And because of this, I gained a lot of weight. When you're you'll find that in the military, just like in the civilian world, there's a lot of people that have a weight problem. Whether they're on profile, which profile means that you have special considerations when it comes to PT, physical training. You can wear certain things, and there's certain specifications and things that, basically, it means that you have different set of circumstances. And some people, like, for example, they're on profile, so they have to wear tennis shoes and stuff like that. Anyways, I ballooned up to about 300 pounds, and because of my depression when I was in Germany. And because of this, I was actually honorably discharged because of my weight, and I was fighting it. And I was starting to lose weight, but my command, where I was, it was all about optics. I was in Stuttgart, there's a lot of generals, and I believe it's the command for AFRICOM, the African command, and I forget which other ones, but it's all about optics. And if you're not the best of the best, if you don't look the best, then you are going to be penalized. So anyways, because I had done 2 deployments and I was a good soldier otherwise, my commander gave me an honorable discharge. And so I only did 5 years in the Army. There are many things, like nowadays I'm finding out that the military is making a lot of exceptions. For example, or not exceptions, but they're doing things a lot differently. So when I was a squad leader, you could discipline your soldiers by making them do PT, physical training, making them do push-ups and stuff like that. And now I'm finding that in basic training, they can't yell at you. And I mean, basic training when I went through was crazy, absolute savage. The School of Hard Knocks, Fort Knox, they would have you would have to go through mental difficulties as well as physical. And there was actually somebody who tried to commit suicide when I was in basic training because the drill sergeant, it was all male. The basic training was all male. And so there was a lot of crazy things that went on. But anyways, what was I talking about? See, sometimes I trail off and I don't have the best mindset. Anyways, yeah, the standards. So we're finding out that the standards are being lessened. And I was watching Tim Pool one day, and I found out that they were considering lowering the standards for women. And first off, in the PT test, when it comes to push-ups, women do less push-ups to qualify, right, for their PT exams. And there's a different time achievement that you have to make when you're a female, but we do sit-ups, and that's the same whether you're male or female. Now, when it comes to what I think about the standards and stuff like that, I go back and forth of whether I think the standards should be different. There's one thing that I will say, and as a medic, when I was deployed, I had females next to me. And I mean, talk about some of the most badass soldiers that you can encounter. There are some really high-speed women in the military, and many of them outdo their male counterparts in the PT tests. So right now they're experimenting with the standards of physical training and male versus female and stuff like that, and I hope they get that worked out. But the military it's mimicking civilian life. The military is really it's like a micro society of what's going on in the civilian world. And the military is going through a lot of changes right now. For example, they're going woke, and I've heard things like the Navy. Some of the what are they in the Navy? They're admirals. They're having their seamen go through like critical race theory and stuff like that. And in my opinion, the military is not supposed to be woke. The military is supposed to be tactical. It is supposed to be there to protect a society. There is a reason why the military is the way that it is. It's not there to make you feel warm and fuzzy. It is there for defense. And so, therefore, you have to be savage. You know, the main mission of the military is to defend your country. Now, one thing that I encountered when I was sometimes when I'm in the comment section and stuff like that, I had some people say, "Oh, we need to stop idolizing these soldiers and acting like they're heroes. They're not. They're baby killers and they're terrorists and stuff like that." And to that I say, first off, if you disagree with the wars that these soldiers are going through, that we had to go through, that's one thing. But to say, now I never said that I'm a hero. Whenever someone thanks me for my service, I don't necessarily know what to say. I don't consider myself a hero or anything like that. But to say that the military, some people even say the military should be abolished. And to that I say, if you like your free speech and you like the ability to crap all over the flag in the military, then you're going to want a strong military. A lot of these people would be licking Chinese boots if it wasn't for the military. Some people are doing that right now. But anyways, but if you disagree with, I agree that the military-industrial complex, the politicians, many politicians, whether they're on the left or the right, they misuse the military. I agree. It's ridiculous. But for those who sign on the dotted line, they're doing so to protect their country. They want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. And to say that, just like in Vietnam, to say that they're baby killers and all of that, it's ridiculous. Now, I'm not lobbying for people to say that soldiers are heroes and that they're supermen and women at all. But what I am saying is that we do need the military, and the military needs to be held to a high standard. Anyways, that was a short history of my my military service. If you want to know more, ask me in the comments. Maybe I'll do another video of that stuff. But when it comes to this whole abolishing the police, they're just on this kick of canceling everything. You know, whether it's canceling the police and canceling the military is going too far. Like, I don't know, and it's sometimes I wonder whether or not these people actually want China to invade. They want to be under Chinese rule, or even, you know, Russia or Iran. It boggles the mind. But anyway, this video is long enough. If you want to know more, let me know in the comments section, and feel free to subscribe and turn on the notifications. I'm going to try and do a video or two every day. This is really cathartic to me to post and stuff like that. And to all those men and women that serve, I salute you. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.